And away we go! The new spreader is a lot better. They've just got like a drop down lock. Everyone knows that we need more than just one. Morning. Some pretty cool bed hair going on there. Face away the sunset, sunrise. Ooh. Been a couple of cracker days lately. We are going to put fertiliser on the poppies. Just sort of quickly run through what happens there. But first, gotta take this sprayer off. So the spreader is probably one of the easiest implements. So what we did just then was just put the hook ends in under the linkage there. So it just hooks in and then you pull these little clips and it locks it in. All good. Heaps of room, as you can see. I've got the PDO. Put that little hook back in. Shove the PDO in. And the remotes to open and shut the shutters to allow the fertiliser to come out. And the PDO, this device here, that's in there. So those discs on the back are spinning, shutters open, disc spinning, fertiliser spread. Simple as that. Well, not quite, but pretty much. And this lead here goes back into the cab, and I'll show you that shortly. We'll open this up. And away we go! Okay, this is the main screen. Those little black tabs indicate to me that the shutters are open, and the shutters were connected to the hydraulic lines there. So we'll just shut them. So now we can put the fertiliser in. Those little tabs and lock it in. And they're simply a hook and the pins through the implement, and there's a ball, and we hook onto that ball. It's so much easier than the old school way where the linkage is just one solid piece and the ball's inside the linkage arm. They're the worst. Yeah, anyway, we will grab a bag of fertiliser. Alright. So, this predominantly white is urea. They're the two spinners. And we've got to change those settings. So different fertilizers have different settings for these, what we call veins. better quickly change those. 19 on the small vein. This one's only pretty small, so this will throw more on the inside, whereas these ones throw out to the distance. I'm going to set this one at 46. Essentially, they're just 2 bolts from some plastic wing nuts underneath to tighten with. The new spreaders are a lot better, where they've just got like a drop down locking tab and they'll just lock in. Anyway, that's tight. On our way to the paddock, I'll just quickly set up what we need to set up. So what we did there before was just those veins, because different fertilizers are different. If that makes any sense, but essentially urea or muriate and potash, they'll throw differently. They've got different characteristics, different densities, different shape, different size. So our spreaders will accommodate that by putting it on at a different settings. If we go to a little app that we can get on our phone, I've got to admit though, Amazon stuff, it's probably okay, but geez, we do find a lot of stripping from different spreaders around the countryside. I'm not saying mine doesn't, but it probably does. Maybe no one can see it quite as easily. But that's one thing, Amazon spreaders, they just do, you do need to do those calibrations where you sit out mats in the paddocks and just check if it's working at that setting that Amazon has suggested. Because a lot of the time, it ain't. Anyway, enough about that. We will set it up. So what are we here? We'll go escape. We'll just stop here for a second. We'll go order. Now I'll put these onto the poppies at 100 kilos. We'll delete that last job just so she's all nice and ready to start for the next one. Calibration. Now this again differs. This is more to do with that density and how quickly it'll run through. So I've got my urea at 0.82. We should be right to go. And we'll then just set up the GPS, say which paddock we're going to. Pretty stock standard stuff. Annoyingly, this spreader does have scales, but they're not working, so most of the time you won't have to put that calibration setting in. The way scales will actually work out what the flow rate needs to be, what the calibration setting needs to be, and that'll adjust on the go. Amazing. But of course it's not working. I put a new one in, we spent a bit of money, probably $2,000 on it, trying to get it to go, and it ain't working, so we're just going back old school and more of a manual setting. That's why we have to put in that number. It's okay, I can live with that. So we got to the paddock. We have got. That's the PDO. Goes that. This machine for some reason spins at 720, so we'll get it up to 720. Keep going, Will. 720, 730, 720. Back up a little bit. Close enough. Get a little run man. And all we do is slide these little remotes forward. Move that monitor. Do that. And then we just push that forward. And the shutters will open. Come up on that screen. And then we'll start with handbrake. And we'll push these shutters forward, they'll open, and then, start spreading. Easy peasy. you would be fooled thinking that this crop looks amazing, which here it does. But we'll slowly go over here in a moment. Just lock this in so I don't steer. And now it's driving itself. Yeah, but we see you got that area there. There's nothing there. The whole brown piece over there has not come, and yeah, we'll talk about that a bit later. But they're not looking too bad. Shouldn't. They're alright. They're alright. Now, something I haven't done for a while is actually go for a little walk in the poppies. Generally, I'm just looking at them from a distance. So I thought we'd just talk about what we're looking at here. So, whoa, it could have been 5 days ago. These got plant growth regulator. We apply that in a lot of different crops: wheat, barley, oats, ryegrass. Even, I guess you could say, onions. They get a product called slow grow. Don't know what it does, but it's a growth regulator. That's to stop these poppies getting too tall. At the moment they're sort of halfway up my leg. Not too bad. If we peer back here, you should see that's the little capsule coming through. So we'd describe that as probably mid run up, something along those lines. And if we peer those back, look in there should be another little bud. That one's probably a bit easier to see. Another bud. So that's what we sort of want. We want more than just one capsule on a plant. We want them to have 4 or 5. If they're a nice, strong, robust plant, they should be able to handle that. So that's something that not everyone knows, that we need more than just one. As far as disease goes, these are looking pretty good. There's that there. Pull him out. That there is systemic downy mildew, and that is a little. It's an insidious disease. Yeah. There's really we're doing our best at trying to keep it out with seed treatment and fungicides, but alas, it will still occur. Yeah, but that's, you can sort of see that's the root on it. Nice long taproot. That is a good sized root, really, and that's why we quite often work a bit deeper than what people expect, is we want that taproot to really drive itself down, anchor itself in, so it's ready to stay stationary. And that's it. In about a week's time they'll probably be at hook stage, so that capsule will come up and it'll hook around, and then a week after that it'll all be upright flowering. So what are we now, we're the 13th, so in like about 2 weeks, a bit after Christmas, it should be flowering. Should be looking a treat here. Now, something I should also mention about poppies is that it was for a long time only grown in Tasmania. Recently Victoria, like Tasmania as a state in Australia. Recently, not recently, like 10 years ago, when the poppy industry was at a bit of a boom, it sort of went outside of that and went into Victoria and other mainland states in Australia. I'm pretty sure there's not any grown anywhere else now. It's just back in Tassie, but they were allowed to, and I think they still are. As a grower, you need to seek a license, like a license to grow. Essentially, poppies are going into the opioid market as different products. So we have to have a police check. We have to go through quite a bit of paperwork to make sure that we are, for a better word, fit for purpose. And then it is, yeah, it's pretty well regulated. You've got to have, it's got to be fenced off, can't be easily accessible. Roadside paddocks have got to be, there's got to be a metre strip. But there's a lot of people that love to take photos. Whilst that's nice, it's also nice if they don't go into the paddock. At the end of the day, in the wrong hands, if this is meddled with, I guess is the right word,
they can cause death. It'd be a lot of years ago now, but there were some backpackers from Europe that pretty sure one died and one was really, really sick. So it's not really something you mess around with. For us, we take it pretty seriously. We do what we have to do to grow the crop, and that's about it. Yeah, I like to grow it. It's a bit of a different crop. It's a unique crop, and not everyone gets to grow it. Most people in Tassie get to grow it because we're all good-natured people. Yeah, it's just very unique. That'll wrap it up for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.